Hi everyone, today we're going to introduce you to an helmet camera from RunCam. This company is mostly known for their ScopeCam cameras. Their other products have also been gaining popularity for some time. This camera is mostly known to users of Chinese sales portals. As you can see in the background, for about 60 euros, the manufacturer promises us 180p at 60 fps. Sounds great in theory. Is it true? We'll see. Now that we've shown what the manufacturer promises, it's time to get down to specifics. We have divided today's video into 3 parts. We show what we get in the box with the camera, what are its advantages and what problems we encounter. We will compare the recordings from this camera to those from the GoPro Hero 12. We have been using both for some time, so the conditions will be different. The screen shows the timestamp of each part. At first we must point out that the camera shown is not new. We have been using it for some time and tried to collect all the accessories. The camera comes to us in a sturdy cardboard box with the manufacturer's logo. In it we find a manual in English and probably Chinese. A camera mounting component for attaching the camera directly to the rail on the helmet. We are currently using Velcro mounting. Additional screws for mounting. They always useful. Allen screwdriver. At least you do not have to look for your own. Type-C USB cable. Another one for the collection. Velcro to stick on the helmet and on the camera mount. They are not the best. Let's move on to the most interesting thing, the camera itself. Currently, the camera has a Velcro mount attached. From the manufacturer, it comes without it. Starting the overview with the camera lens. The camera lens is placed on a flexible neck. This allows you to freely adjust what the camera sees without depending on the placement of the device on the helmet. In addition, the neck is rotatable, so the range of settings is sufficient to freely adjust it to your preference. Wi-Fi launch button will allow us to connect, for example, to a phone with an app. We will come back to it later. On-off slider, as you can easily guess, we activate the camera with it. It works quite hard, thanks to which we are unlikely to turn it off by accident. After activation, the camera vibrates and lights up the LED on the lens. The LED has been taped to not make it easy for opponents. The vibration can be felt on the helmet, so we are sure that we have started recording and it is not loud enough to draw the attention of people around us, especially when sneaking up on someone. In addition, it is large enough that you can easily operate it with gloves. On the back we have a micro card slot. Unfortunately, it is not protected from water or dust in any way. Next to it is a USB Type-C socket for charging the camera and communicating with the computer, also without any protection from water. Which is an advantage. The camera is powered by a replaceable battery, so we can easily replace it when it stops working as needed, or we shoot longer than its lifespan. The accumulator is secured in place with a plastic cap. I don't see any additional protection from moisture. There are markings on the housing for the expected battery polarity. Let's put everything together and take a moment to talk about the manufacturing of the device. The low price of the device does not come from nowhere. Practically everything you can was made of plastic. Fortunately, for the most part, the body is solid enough that there is no risk of destroying the device with a simple bump. However, the mounting of the camera's neck raises some concern. It is a rather extended element that readily catches any branches. This is the first element we would be concerned about. The next is the battery cap. With frequent unscrewing, the thread on it or the socket can become damaged. We will show you briefly how the camera application looks like. With it we can configure the device and view the recorded videos. The application is free and available for Apple and Android devices. We are testing it on iOS. We start by launching the camera and the application. When we go to available Wi-Fi, we do not see the camera network. To enable the camera's network, we press the Wi-Fi button on the device's housing. The camera, through vibration, confirms the network activation. A new network appears with a strange name containing the keyword, Helmet Cam. This is the default network name that was given on our device. We connect to this network. During the first launch, we will need the password displayed on the screen. Once connected to the network, we return to the application and press the connect button. If we are connected to the camera network and an error occurs, let's try again. The start screen allows us to go to some quick settings and preview the live camera image. Now we will go through the available settings. With the button in the lower left corner, we go to the recording gallery. The second button at the bottom will take us to the full screen preview. The gear button directs us to advanced settings. One of these options is the ability to change the camera's network name and password. At the end of the unboxing, we will show you how the device looks in the natural environment, in this case, a fast-type helmet. Before moving on to the recording show, let's briefly discuss the pros and cons of this device. All of them are our private opinion for which, unfortunately, no one paid us. Starting with the advantages, we must admit that for this price, this camera works really well. The recordings are not outstanding, but the image is clear and you do not feel from it that it comes from such cheap equipment. At the same time, the only video stabilization is probably the lens neck. Nevertheless, the image is sufficient even during more dynamic movements. The plastic housing is both a disadvantage and an advantage. The camera is really lightweight. After putting it on the side of the helmet, it does not feel that it starts to tilt or its weight has increased. On the other hand, any harder encounter with the doorframe may be its last. The way the lens is placed, on the one hand, gives us flexibility in positioning the device on the helmet and the captured image. On the other hand, it is an ideal element to break out when passing through bushes or snagging it. It does not cause much concern, but it is important to note. After squeezing through the bushes, it is also worth checking whether the neck has moved. To us, despite the constant movement, it holds the setting, but harder things can easily change it. At the beginning of using the camera, we had a problem with corrupted recordings. The camera started normally but was saving empty files instead of the recording. In our case, the solution was to replace the micro SD card to a newer model. The device is not waterproof. Maybe for the money it's not worth expecting it, but it's something to keep in mind when we get caught in the rain or perform naval operations. Appearance is a point of contention. Some prefer a GoPro block and others something smaller. We don't mind it, but it's not the most beautiful either. As you have seen, the device is very simple to install and use. We can easily lend it to someone. It will only need a piece of Velcro and to remember to run before the game. Both requirements will easily be met by practically anyone. In conclusion, the RunCam headcam is a remarkable device. It is not a top-of-the-line sports camera, but at this price range it looks solid and offers all the basic functions. For the less demanding, it is practically a device to use straight out of the box. For those who prefer to delve more deeply into the subject, an app with several functions is provided. In our case, it works very well as a backup device for recording gameplay or when the main helmet mount is already occupied. Enjoy the recording demonstration.
Jedziemy.
Chodź! Wejście na latarkę! Do przodu! Chodź! Nisko!
już jedynki raz wymieniałem.
Dobra, i co, straka? Ej, no kurwa! Napierdolać mnie, kurwa!
Kifra, to nie? Jakby trzeba to był przodek, by może był...
No i pobiegłem. Idziemy do niego, zobaczyć co jest.
Do mnie? Kogo szukasz?
Kurwa. Ja to nagryję. No, ja teraz nagrywam. To tak zostaw po prostu i... Cały czas ma nagrywać. Tak, cały czas ma nagrywać.
Prawo, prawo, prawo i prawo, lewo. Będziemy dwóch.
Tam przód.
Idźcie do przodu.
Chodź.
Czekaj.
Nie składaj, pierdol do góry. Od razu zostawię na górę.
Tam jest ktoś. Dawaj. Chodź, pomaga. I... Idziemy do niego, zobaczyć co jest.
Druga widzę. Zostaw tą stazę! Zostaw tą stazę!
Zostaw tą stazę! Podejdź do ściany tamtej budynku! Swój, ej! Jeden jest tam, widzisz? Pilnuj tego wysoko.
Zamknijcie drzwi od kaplicy i stańcie dokoła trumny. Żadnej lampy, żadnej świecy,